So one of the things that I am learning is that this is the season where things are shifting, and old patterns are coming up, so that you may release them. And so on the drive to work today, I was listening to an interview with Scott Evans and Halle Bailey, and they were talking about her pregnancy, and as I'm just listening to her just share her story, I just started to think about my own experience. And I think about this often, like every time I watch a pregnancy on television, or someone just share their experience, or I could be on social media and I can, looking at someone share their experience, their pregnancy experience, whether it's pictures or them telling the story, I always get so emotional because I don't feel like I had the best experience with my pregnancy, as far as outside support, with my son's dad, even with my own parents. It wasn't, I can say this, my mom was there financially to help me with my baby shower and to set up, but throughout the entire time that I was pregnant, my parents, they were not there for me. First of all, when I first found out I was pregnant, I told I told my dad, I told both my parents, but my experience with my dad was really disturbing. When it was my dad's birthday, and I called my dad to, no, let me say that again. My dad had just had a baby, and so I was calling him to tell him congratulations, and I was also calling to tell him happy birthday. My sister's birthday is the day after my dad, so I was calling to happy birthday and congratulations on a new baby. And then I was like, I'm having a baby too, and he goes, no you're not. And I'm like, yes I am. And he was like, no you're not, bye bye. And he just hung up. Now you could take that as maybe he was in shock, but how I processed it, 10 years of therapy and really understanding the type of parent that I chose in this lifetime, my dad's response was that I was defiled. Now I'm 33 years old. I was 32 when I got pregnant with my son. I'm a grown ass woman, and I'm trying to share this joyous occasion with my parents, and my dad, he acted like my daughter is defiled, and I don't want no parts of it. Honestly, it was a disgusting feeling. It definitely was it was a lot to take in, a lot to process. And I know a lot of times, we grow up in these environments where we're trained to protect our parents, and sometimes they're the fucking monsters. Not the people that they tell you outside, how your parents tell you about safety, but sometimes they're the real monsters that's inside of the damn house with you. And 10 years of therapy and just really, I think I've always known, but therapy really helps me really see my parents for who they are. And trying to share a joyous occasion with my dad, he made it about himself, and it was really creepy to me. And even my son's father, he spent most of his time away from me when I was pregnant. I spent a lot of time in the house by myself and just talking to my son all the time. I would just stay in the house and watch movies all day. It was really, it was sad. When I think about it, it was sad. It was really, really sad. I was I'm growing this human in me, and I'm thinking that, it was going to be different, but it wasn't. I was abandoned. Yeah. And even the gender reveal, I remember my mom and I running around getting everything together for the gender reveal. And my son's father, when it was time to get ready, he was being really nasty and being really rude to me. And I was just so confused. I'm you laid in the house this whole time while I was out ripping and running and, doing everything. And now you're being nasty to me. And then take it a step further, the baby shower. he waited the day of to go get his boots for the baby shower. Now I'm getting my makeup done. Now this whole time I'm doing all this stuff on top of the fact that he used to take me to work and had access to the car, so you could have been got this done. But the day of the baby shower, you decided that you wanted to get boots, and I said something to him. I was like, yo, why would you do that? He cursed me out. I was a bag of bitches. Now I'm standing in the basement. Mind you, my family, everybody has been here for hours waiting for us. Now I'm standing in the basement. I have to wait for him to go across the street to get him a pair of boots. He cussed me out. Then we go upstairs. Like, we walk upstairs after we're late. And it's like nothing ever happened. Like, he didn't just talk crazy to me. And I got to smile in front of my family and friends and apologize for being late. But it was like, this man just, like, really just disrespected me, and he was the one that was in the wrong. And now we're just walking and acting like nothing ever happened. Now, when I was 11 or 12 years old, I had a sleepover, and the girls that was there, they weren't really my friends. Like, it was some girls that my dad, like, knew. The girl he was messing with at the time, her family was over there. So the girl said that I was cursing. My dad yells at me and embarrassed me in front of these girls, like, oh, no cursing, you're not a fucking grown-up. So I go to stand next to my dad and take this picture. You can clearly tell I was crying, right? I was like maybe 11 or 12, and my hand is on his shoulder, and like, I'm crying. You can tell I was crying in the picture, and my dad is just standing there, like, smiling. Like, he did not just, like, screaming me in front of everybody, don't curse, you're not a fucking grown-up. And like, I was a very sensitive kid, and I'm just like standing there crying, like, yo, you just embarrassed me in front of my quote-unquote company, and now you want me to take a picture of you. So again, like, going back to my original statement, like, I am in the, like, season of, like, purging and letting things go. And that is something that came up because I'm struggling with accepting the fact that, you know, that's what happened to me, you know, like, and I survived it. I got out of it. I'm in a healthy relationship with myself. I'm in a healthy relationship with my wife. Like, it's different. You know, my son is healthy, and, you know, my wife and I are making sure that, you know, he doesn't have to experience the things that I experienced, the things that she experienced. Like, we're doing our best, you know, to provide a safe life for all of us. But I'm just like, and as I'm doing that, I'm just taking all of this shit in. Like, it wasn't, you know, the people around me made everything about themselves. And, you know, like, that's why I have a hard time believing in myself a lot, because the people around me that should have been pouring into me, they've always made everything about them. And I would always pour into them, cheer them on. Like, I used to even, like, step in and protect my dad when he should have been protecting me. My son's dad, I was protecting him, and he wasn't protecting me. You know, again, I spent my whole pregnancy by myself. And even when, you know, when I went into labor, when we was in the hospital, like, he was talking crazy to me. Like, when my family came, he was being so nice to me. But when they left, like, he was talking crazy to me. Like, mind you, I'm laying here, I had an emergency C-section, and when I was pushing, I wasn't pushing correctly, and, like, you know, you're going through the labor pains, and, like, you're angry, you're upset, like, you're just feeling all these different emotions, right? And so I couldn't even have that to myself. Like, I'm trying to push, but, like, I didn't know. He's trying to tell the doctor, like, you know, she's not pushing. And so I remember cursing because I was so frustrated. I remember cursing at him, like, what the fuck? Because I'm feeling all these emotions, like, as you should. You're pushing a human out. You know, the cord wrapped around my son's neck, that he blamed that on me. Like, how am I supposed to, you know, I don't know. It's my first time as a mom. But I just remember, like, screaming and being so frustrated with him and with the doctor, and he looked me in my eye like, bitch, if you scream at me again, I'm gonna whoop your ass. Like, on some real Ike and Tina shit. This is the shit that I survived, and I am just, like, driving to work out of that situation. We ain't been together in like 5 years, but we still have to co-parent. Like, he really don't do what he's supposed to do. But I'm just thinking about all these things, and, like, I'm taking it all in. I'm taking it all in. Like, I'm learning how to let go, but I'm just like, wow, that happened to me. And this probably sound gross, but this morning, right, I don't know what time it was, but I know when I got up this morning, I just, like, sat on my bed because I had a dream that, like, I pooped on myself in a dream. Like, I was just, like, pooping, like, shit was just falling, and that was just so weird. Like, I don't know why I did it, but I pooped, and, like, I remember, like, picking up the poop and, like, sniffing it. Like, seriously, real talk. I'm sorry if that's, like, gross, but that's the dream I had this morning. And so my wife, like, you know, we always ask each other, how did you sleep? And so she was asking me, and I was like, bro, real talk, like, I pooped in my dream, and, like, it was falling on the floor, and I was like, I was cleaning it up, but I've never dreamed of, like, shitting on myself in a fucking dream. And so when I looked it up on Chat GPT, It was basically saying like that is when you it's not uncommon, and when things like that happen, it's because you're holding on to things that you need to release. And so that's why I'm sharing this story, because for so long I've protected people, and I can't I can't anymore. Like I can't I can't I can't. I survived a lot of shit, man. Like, and I still can't believe, like, when I sit back and think about it, I'm like, yo, you got out of it. My therapist always said that to me, you got out of it. My wife always say to me, you got out of it. And I did, but it's like, you still have those memories of like what you survived. And there's a part of me that's still living in fight or flight, because I don't feel safe, because for so many years, I was not in a safe space, a safe environment. And I can honestly say that my wife has created that for me. Like, I always see this quote that says healers need to date protectors. I married my protector, because for so long I would take care and protect everybody, but it wasn't always reciprocated. And my wife is like, I'm Team Tasha all the way. My wife don't even play it. My mother makes a joke about me. My wife did that shit. Like, nah, we not doing that. Like, she has yet to meet my dad, but even he will get checked. Even my brothers, when they make jokes, my wife did it. Like, she don't like that stuff. Like, I did it too, but to be honest, like, for so long I was like the scapegoat and the butt of the jokes. Like, even though like I would like speak up for myself, like, if you've been raised in a family like that, like, you understand what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just like, you don't know why it's you. I mean, I kind of understand now doing my research that when you are like meant to break patterns in your family, that's why you experience it. But it is a lot to take in, man. And yeah, man, that's all I wanted to share. 39, turning 40, and I'm just trying to get through this shit. So yeah, I hope that wasn't all over the place, and I hope it helps somebody that's going through stuff. You're not alone. Peace.